Hey everybody, good morning. It is Sunday, I think April 23rd, or maybe 24th. I don't know. It's Sunday, 2022. Sorry I haven't had any videos out here recently. There's been kind of a lot of stuff going on. Got a huge sales meeting at work that's coming on this week, starting Tuesday. So we've been trying to get ready for that. So there's been a lot of 12-hour days involved, a lot of 6-day week kind of things happening, and trying to generate sales reports, et cetera, and get the facility ready. So it's been very, very busy, and I just haven't had a whole lot of time to kind of do videos. But this weekend was, well, I worked yesterday, but this weekend was to kind of just relax a little bit. And I've got another project going on, which I'll kind of give you some teasers. This is actually probably a teaser already. Not sure if you know what this is or what it could be. So I'll let you, maybe kind of figure it out in the comment section below. Y'all can shoot your ideas around. But just started working on this last night, and this is a result of 2 hours worth of work. So again, I'll let you debate what you think it is and how does it even apply to the channel. So wanted to put a video out just to make sure y'all knew I wasn't dead or anything, and just kind of keep things moving, so to speak. And so there's one thing I want to talk about, and I just saw a report this morning on my newsfeed, on my Apple newsfeed, about a scientist calling for environmental protection of space. And basically what this is, there's, just like on Earth, we have trash everywhere, plastic bottles, cigarette butts, et cetera, which impact the environment. We also now have a lot of, junk in space or trash in space, which can dramatically affect not only the space program, but also us as amateur astronomers. So what am I talking about? Let's go take a look.
My life color, you give my life color, color. You give my life color, give my life color. You give my life color, You give my life color, yeah.
So, all right. So what are we talking about here? Well, first off, let's go to a fun, interactive thing here, right? So let's go into Google, and if you type in Leo Labs visualization and click on the first one, which is platform.leolabs.space, click into that, and this is from Leo Labs. And this basically tracks items around Earth's orbit. So the red items that you see here, these are actually tracking stations. And you can go more into this. I'm not going to go real deep into their website, but you can go in there and you can see all the cool features that they do. So this is kind of like the light version, more of just an interactive version. As you see here, they're tracking 19,119 objects displayed, which actually went up here recently. Now, as I was saying earlier, the report that I read was actually that there was an estimated 30,000 pieces in space. Now, what does that mean? Well, just real quick, let's go through the keys. So, number one, you can move this around from the Earth's, so you can see all over from whatever vantage point you're at. You can pull out or scroll in, and if you scroll in, if you click on items, it'll actually give you what it is. So looks like I got a little meteor right here that's kind of just floating around the Earth. We've got, oh, look at this, look, Starlink. Aw, look at all the little Starlinks. So yeah, you can click on the item and you can actually see what it is. Now you can turn the beams off, I do believe. If you go over here, the instruments, there we go. And this gives you kind of a little bit better view. So if you see these little square blocks, believe it or not, these are all Starlinks. And if you followed here within the past several years, you know there's a big issue with Starlink because of the amount of items they're putting up into space. And here just recently, I think a bunch, look at this, you can see their orbit paths. These items that you're seeing right here, these are all Starlinks, these little... let's see if I can get it. There's one right there. Let's see if I can track it. There we go. They're definitely, you know, a certain size and a certain view of them. Now, it kind of digress there. So sorry. So yeah. So this has been a big issue with the amount of stuff that's going up into space. So when you think about, these are satellites. So anything that's green is basically a payload. So typically it's going to be some sort of a satellite. If it's yellow, it's going to be rocket debris, or rocket body, I guess. So probably a stage, a booster stage, something along those lines. The red items, of course, are debris, and it gives you a little bit of information on what it is. So I guess this was some piece of Noah that got hit or is floating around or whatever it may be. But this gives you a generalization of exactly what the problem is. And if you think about space, right, the sky is pretty big. It's pretty open. But any launches by any space agency, they have to monitor where things are at before they launch so that you don't hit something on the way up. Because you hit something on the way up at the speed and the velocity, chances are you're going to do some damage. And we're talking, millions of dollars of payload that's going up into space, whether it be a satellite. Here recently, the James Webb, oh my God, what would have happened if that thing, hit, I don't know, a bolt as it flew up into space? There would be billions lost and a lot of time completely lost. That would be a terrible, terrible thing. But thankfully, you have services like NORAD, as well as Leo Labs here that people can use to track. Now, this is just a light version. You can actually buy it. I don't know why you would. Being an amateur astronomer, it's not like we're launching anything into space, but this also helps give you a good visualization, hence the name, a good visualization of exactly what is in space. But you also have to bear in mind that, yes, the universe is infinite, but the space around the Earth is not. And eventually, things will start colliding. Naturally, as, orbits decay, things will fall back into gravity of the Earth. It'll be pulled back down. It'll burn up into the atmosphere. But not everything. And especially if you click on debris, this gives you an idea of how much debris is actually around the Earth. It's almost like we're encased. So it's honestly kind of sad. If you think about the environmental impact that we have on Earth, just with, plastic bottles, trash, plastic bags, cigarette butts, etc., whatever, we think that, there's no problems because the Earth is so big, but we've also seen plenty of pictures of beaches covered in litter, covered in trash, and of course how it affects marine life, et cetera, et cetera. So so there's a call to action from Earth scientists about this compounding problem. And if you think about it, when I say compounding, if you have one bolt, and I think I heard they track everything from, like NORAD does, they'll track everything from 7 millimeters and larger. I think it may be smaller than that, but 7 millimeters and larger. So literally like a bolt, or a nut, or just a piece of metal. As that's flying through space at its speed, and it impacts with another object, or let's even say, one of those little box satellites, about the size of a shoebox, that hits another satellite. You're going to have many, many pieces break off of that one. So one piece that's one piece, that could turn into 1,000 pieces. Now you have 1,000 pieces that are going to hit another 100 pieces, and those are going to expand by another 1,000. So it's just going to continue to get larger and larger and larger. Now, everything is set in, it's not just haphazardly thrown up into space. There's planned orbits and degrees and et cetera. But when you have a long line of things like this, and these are probably spaced, I don't know, whether it's miles or feet or yards or meters apart, they're still in the same order, and it's basically now like a wall. So if something comes across and knocks one of these out, it's going to hit something. In fact, what was it? Just a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago, or something. We had some sort of solar event that actually knocked some satellites out of orbit, specifically Starlinks. So, what the hell? At least I think that was a real event. I don't know. Maybe it was just internet porn, but certainly it I could say it would happen. I don't know. Put down in the comments below. How do you think we should solve this problem? What do you think we should do? How do we get around this? Yeah, I don't know. And it may be in my lifetime, maybe in our children's lifetime or our grandkids' lifetime, that space exploration may be a thing of the past if there's too much trash in space. And again, space is pretty big, the sky is pretty big, but eventually, compounding problems, there may become a day when this is entirely pink. Something to think about.